You got challenges that you're going to run across.
I am still an active member of Delta
Okay.
Sigma Theta. I have a chapter here, ASAT. So I never, even the only time I was inactive was when I was deployed overseas. But I've always been an active member, a paying active member of Delta Sigma Theta.
Okay. So let's talk about the military. So you leave school and you come home. How long were you home before you went straight to the military?
So I didn't come home. So I went to college for a semester.
Okay.
One semester, and that summer I was gone. And my grandmother found out when it was time for me to be shipped because my recruiter drove me to my grandmother's house on my way to be shipped out.
Your recruiter drove you there. Why? To pick your stuff up or something?
I had to tell her. It was like, hey, I did this. I'm not going by myself because you signed me up. Like, come on, we doing this together. And I was lucky because I got a good recruiter. I had a recruiter, and we actually still keep in contact to this day because my grandmother, she wasn't happy with me, but she put it on him. She said, you better take care of my baby the entire time she's in the military. And he gave her his word, and he did that. You guys know about recruiters. Recruiters tell you what you want to hear just to get you in.
Oh man, I got stories about that. I can tell you. But go ahead. This is not my day, but I got stories. Let me tell you this quick one. I went to the Coast Guard Reserve, and the only reason I did that was because they were giving out $5,000 that summer, and the Army was booked for 6 months. I couldn't go for 6 months. The Navy was a year, the Marines was a year, and that was during the time where everybody was right next door to each other. And so the Coast Guard guy said, "Can you swim from here to that wall?" I said, "Yeah." Now that was the biggest lie he ever told because you had to swim an Olympic-sized pool. You had to tread water for 10 minutes. But back to your point, they would say anything to get you enlisted. Mm-hmm. And so did he say anything, or he was truthful to you?
I got a good one. So he was truthful to me. Like he never told me any lies. Everything checked out. He continued to check on me, which he didn't have to do because once they get you in, you usually don't hear from them anymore because their job is to get numbers. Right. But he was different. So I got a different type of recruiter that really cared. And I don't know if it was my grandmother or what, but he did everything he said he was going to do.
She put fear in him. I'm going to find you. I have certain skills. I will track you down.
Okay, Lim.
So where did you go to boot camp?
So I was in San Antonio at Lackland, and that's where, when you're Air Force, that's where you go. You can do boot camp in the hot state of Texas.
Okay. So then after that, do you go to school or you just?
Right. So you do your training there. So at the time it was 6 weeks, and mine was a little longer because September 11th happened while I was there. So we were on lockdown for some time and everything shut down for a little bit. So I was there a little bit longer. So once I left there, I went to Keesler for my technical school training.
Right. And
once I did that, I didn't go in full time. I went in as a reservist. So once I did all my training, I returned back to college.
Now Keesler, that's the Gulf. I mean, that's Biloxi and Gulfport, right?
Correct.
All right. So at that time, it wasn't any casinos or anything there, right? It was just, or was it? Had they started on that?
Yeah, they were there.
Oh, really? Okay. Mm-hmm. So I guess I was going back to my older days when I was at Jackson State. When we went down there, it was nothing but water and beach. It was, but I'm about 2 years younger than you. So
yeah, that's it. Just 2 years. That's it.
All right. So did the military take you around the world, or where did you go?
I did. I actually got the opportunity to do a lot of traveling. I went to college. Like I said, I was a reserve member. So I just did like my 2 weeks out of the year because I still completed college. Right. Mm-hmm. So I went back and did that. So once I graduated from college is when I really started being able to travel and do things. I did tours, but they were like stateside tours. I didn't do any OCONUS tours when I was in college. Mm-hmm. So when I graduated I went to Biloxi. I did it full time. So I went active duty, and I went full time, and that's where all the journeys began. So I've been pretty much everywhere in the United States. Of course, I've been all over the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar. I've been pretty much everywhere.
Wow. Where's your favorite place that the military took you that you said, this is cool, I can live here if I, Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.
You got challenges that you're going to run across.